You guys, it is January and Disney has come out with the free dining promo. We haven't seen that promo in a long time, but you might be thinking, why should I care about the free dining promo? I have no interest in the dining plan. Or is the dining plan right for my travel party? Well, there's really only one way to answer that question, and that's to go through it, understand what the dining plan is, and if it's beneficial to your travel party. So we're going to get into it. Hey, if you don't know me, I'm Sam, your adventure concierge for all things Disney World travel, and today we're breaking down the dining plan, whether it's for you, whether it's not for you, and next steps. So let's just forget about the promo. Don't even think about what I'm about to tell you is free. Take those glasses off and let's see if the dining plan is something that would be beneficial to you and your travel party. First things first is knowing the difference between the two plans. One is the quick service plan. The other one is called the Disney dining plan, and it is essentially the table service plan. Now, with the quick service plan, you're going to receive 2 quick service meals. We'll go over what that is in a little bit. 1 snack and a resort refillable mug. Now, this is going to be for every person on the travel party. So, if there are 5 people in your travel party, then everyone will get the same allotment of credits and everyone will receive a resort refillable mug. More on that later. Let's look at the table service. So the table service, or the Disney dining plan is what it's called, you're going to get 1 quick service meal, 1 table service meal, and a snack, as well as the resort refillable mug. Now let's break that down. What do these meals look like? Because you might be thinking, this is not valuable for me to just prepay for like McDonald's little tiny hamburgers. And there are some quick services that can be like that. There are so many quick services that offer such a wide range of flavors and different types of foods and new things and comfort things. We're going to go over it. So, what does a quick service meal look like? Well, it has an entree, a side, and a drink. And sometimes 2 sides. So, a little story. The first time I had ever used the dining plan was a long time ago. I was not a travel agent at the time. And it was actually the first time that my family and I were staying on property. We got the dining plan. We had no idea how to use it. And so when we were eating at our resort, it had a cafeteria-style quick service, which, by the way, shout out to those cafeteria-style quick services. I love you. I love you so much. But we were getting our entrees, but not the sides, because of course, if you've been to one of those, you know you have to get your own like soda or like bottled drink or like bag of chips or an apple or whatever. They're kind of all separate. Nobody was telling us that those things were included in the dining plan. I walked up to the cast member that was serving the food and I said, "I have the dining plan. What can I get here that's on the dining plan?" And she said, "Everything here is available on the dining plan," which blew my mind, because whereas some of those meals were a piece of pizza and then other was like pot roast and mashed potatoes and carrots and like a huge difference, okay? But they were all included and it was fabulous. So the value of the dining plan is knowing how to use the dining plan, okay? So those quick service meals, don't think of them like fast food meals. Think of them as quicker meals. You get in, you get out. You don't sit down at a table. Well, you sit down at a table if you can find one, but you're not served by like a waiter. That kind of thing. They're counter meals. You go to the counter, you're ordering on your app, things like that. Don't discount them though, because they're the cheap quick service meals. Don't do it. They've got some really great food. Okay, let's talk about snacks. So a snack is a single serve item, okay? And this is where you can really maximize or minimize the value of your dining plan. Because if you go and you use your snack credit on a banana or like one of those little cutie oranges, that's minimizing. You want to maximize the snack credits. Get those $8 cinnamon rolls. Get those really big, beautiful pastries. Those single, what did I call it? Single items are the snack credits, and there's these little symbols. They make it pretty easy, but you can maximize that dining plan by saying yes to those big giant cookies, to those cinnamon rolls, to, that kind of thing. Let's talk about beverages, because you're going to get that refillable resort mug that can be refilled at any of the resorts, not just the one that you're staying at. So if you are resort hopping or anything like that, then you can fill your soda cup up at any of those locations. You just can't do it in the parks. But what you can do is get a drink with your meal that you're purchasing with your dining plan. So those drinks are going to be, you can get a soda, you get a water bottle, but you can also get those specialty beverages. Now for adults 21 and over, that includes specialty alcoholic beverages, which right there, if you are into that kind of thing, if you enjoy having a cocktail or, a mixed drink, then 100% the dining plan is going to be worth it, because those drinks can get really expensive on their own. They can be $15, $17, $20 for a margarita, whereas we'll talk about prices. That's almost half of your budget for the dining plan. So, oh hey, Editor Sam is here. I realized that we never talked about the price, so let's cover it real quickly. The quick service dining plan is going to run you $59.14 per adult per night of your stay, and it is going to be $24.71 per child per night of your stay. Now the table service or the Disney dining plan is going to run you $97.79 per adult per night, and the child's table service is going to be $30.66 cents per night of your stay. And of course, if you are taking advantage of the free dining promo, negate everything that I just said, it will be $0. But if you are going in a time where the promo is not offered, that is your totals. So at the time of this recording, let's get back into it. But for people that do not want alcohol or are kids, you can get those specialty milkshakes, smoothies, those fun little Sprites where they put different syrups and stuff in them. Like all of these restaurants have these really cute themed drinks, and those are included in your dining plan. You're not going to have to pay extra for those. So the Disney dining plan, really the only difference is going to be that table service credit that you're getting every day, which is really great if you enjoy sitting at table service meals. Now, if you've never been to Disney World, you might be thinking yeah, I want to sit down at a table every day and be served or whatever. However, that takes a lot of time out of your day. I will warn you that it does take a lot of time out of your day, but if you know that you want that experience of sitting at the table and going to those table service dining, making the reservations, that kind of thing, then yes, the Disney dining plan might be a really great fit for your family. Okay, let's talk about convenience. I wrote a blog about this, and you can go read it. I will link it below, and it's about the dining plan. So if I'm talking too fast or running in little squirrel trails, then you are welcome to go read the blog. And I talk about the convenience, and I tell a little story about peanut butter and how, yes, you can 100% pack your lunches, take them into the parks. There's no rule against it. I have people asking me all the time about what they can bring into the parks. And they are quite lax about what you can bring into the parks. You can't bring a hard-sided cooler, you can't bring loose ice, and you can't bring glass. But other than that, in, relation to food, you can bring your own food. There's nothing against that. And if you are wanting to go and save as much money as you possibly can, then I say go for it. Pack those sandwiches. However, when you are packing your lunches, you are putting away convenience. And when you're going to Disney World, the secret to success and having that great, beautiful, magical trip is the convenience part, because you can't get away from the crowds and that sort of thing, but you can maximize the convenience of your vacation, and that includes a dining plan. So if we go back, Squirrel Trails, my peanut butter story. Imagine this. It's 7 a.m. and you are trying to get your family ready to be at the early entry for Magic Kingdom. And you got your kids, they're bouncing off the wall because they're so excited to meet Mickey Mouse, and you're trying to get them dressed, you're trying to pack lunches, you have this very small amount of space to prepare your peanut butter and jelly. I'm using peanut butter and jelly because you can't get any easier than peanut butter and jelly. Plus, you don't want to keep meats and things in the beverage coolers. So, peanut butter and jelly it is. We're getting off on another squirrel trail. Imagine, though, you're making your sandwiches, you're going down the line, peanut butter, jelly, peanut butter, jelly, peanut butter, jelly. Your electronics are on the same table. They're charging. They're ready to be thrown into the backpack. Your kids are excited. Somebody gets a little bit of peanut butter on their hand. And the next thing you know, everything is covered with peanut butter. And I have a child, so I know how quickly that peanut butter can go from here to there to everywhere. And that is chaos. Imagine if you didn't have to do that. Imagine just getting them dressed and getting them out the door. And you don't even need to bring your wallet. You just simply need your magic band. Now, probably bring your wallet just in case, but if you have a magic band, that bad boy, I keep holding my wrist up because I put it on my watch. You have your magic band with you. You go up, you order your food, you tap your magic band. There's no peanut butter involved. It's not getting in your backpack. It's not getting on your poncho, and then when you go to put it on, it sticks to your hair. That stresses me out to think about it. The dining plan is it's just it for my family. We love it. The convenience that it brings, amazing. Now, logistically, you're not technically saving any money unless you super duper maximize the dining plan, which when you work with me, I will give you all of the tips and tricks to maximizing where you're actually saving money. But in reality, it's more of a prepay situation. You're getting your meals paid for in advance. You get there and you're not worried about blowing the food budget. The food budget has already been paid for. It's ready to go. You have this little system. You can tell your kids, okay, everybody gets one super fun treat, a day or whatever. And it's already budgeted. It's already ready to go. And the beauty of the quick service plan, in my opinion, is that it can kind of be broken up a little bit. And this is true for both of the dining plans. You don't have to use that allotment of credits every single day. All of the credits are given to you at the beginning of your trip, and you can use them however you want to, on which days, whatever. You don't have to use all of your credits the first day. You can use them all the first day. It's just how you budget it. It's totally up to you. But think about it. If you had two littles, maybe a 4-year-old and a 6-year-old, and maybe they aren't really into eating. I know a lot of times if my child was not going through a growth spurt, it was really hard to get him to eat. So let's say you have two littles and they're kind of in that stage where they're munching here and there or whatever. You could get one kid's quick service meal and break it up and have them share it. You're not going to be losing any credits that day. And you could either get them another meal later in the day, or You can just bank them for the rest of your trip. So the way that you can use your dining plan is really customizable to the way that your family eats. So now let's talk about this free dining promo, because maybe you're thinking, okay, the dining plan sounds really great, but maybe it's a little expensive. Okay, right now Disney is offering a free dining promo for select dates in the summer. Now, these do have to be booked by February 10th. So it is something that we would need to be working on soon, but the travel dates are not until later in the summer. So you have time to pay your trip off. I'm getting ahead of myself. So let's say that you're really into this free dining thing. We could start working on that, get that deposit paid, and get you on your planning journey. Now, let's say that the dining promo is not running right now. That's okay. If the dining plan is something that would benefit your family or your travel party, the brilliant beauty of planning a Disney vacation is that you can add that plan into your package. You put down your $200 deposit, and then you have up to 30 days before you travel, before you have to have all of that paid off. So it's quite flexible the way that you can pay that off. And by the time you get there, your food's already paid for. It's fabulous. I love it, because you're going to have to pay for food one way or the other. Let's be so for real. And if you're not going to be dedicated to packing every single meal, then you're going to have to spend money on food, whether you pay for it before or you pay for it while you're there. It makes more sense to me to pay for it before I'm there, because it's already taken care of. I'm not trying to keep track of how much money that I'm spending on food. Everything's taken care of. So you might be thinking, all right, I really want to know if the dining plan is right for my travel party. I have a free worksheet that's going to help you decide whether the dining plan or which dining plan works best for you. It looks like this, and I will link it below. It's completely free. You just walk through it, and you can decide, yes, this makes sense, or no, it doesn't make sense. But either way, I would love to help you plan your next adventure. But I want you to be very, very realistic when you're working through this worksheet. I have a problem with that, and my husband has to bring me back down to earth, because I'll be like, oh no, I'll probably spend $10 or something. And he's like, no, that's obviously going to be at least $100. And I'm like, oh, right. So go through this worksheet, be so for real with yourself, and then you can decide, yes, a dining plan makes sense for my travel party. No, a dining plan does not make sense with my travel party. Either way, I'm happy to help you plan your next trip. So make sure you grab that, and you could head over to the blog and read that if that makes better sense to you. But either way, I can't wait to talk to you and help you plan your next adventure. So until then, see you next time. Bye.